What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of the Drift Games vlog. And in a previous episode we took a spin to Quinn's M Sport to check out some of the amazing machines they were finishing before the start of the Link ECU Drift Games Extreme. Well, one of them is almost finished and came to Mondello Park today to make some smoke, make some noise. It is Robin Neeson's capable of 900 horsepower 180SX. And before I show you around the car, I think it's about time we showed you what it's capable of. Check this out. There's no point in me telling you about how crazy this car is. I'm going to talk to the man himself who's built it. We've got Robin Neeson right here to explain to us why this car may just win the championship this year. So Robin, welcome to Mondello Park.
Yes.
You good?
Yes, I'm
So
good.
first year this year in what we now call the Link ECU Drift Games Extreme.
Yes.
And we called it Extreme. We were thinking, is that a good name for a championship? But when we see cars like this, that's a good name for the championship,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
This thing is extreme. So last year you were in a JZX.
Yeah.
And we weren't there when we did the last vlog, but the guys at Quinn's were telling us that you were switching to this is Kevin Quinn's old car for those
That's right.
people who need to catch up. What made the decision? Why jump over?
Just really struggled with the car. It never handled right. Just could never get it to steer right and struggled on it. And every round we were out, we tried something different. And after driving this today, I knew why I done it. My friends said, you just need to make the change.
So let's get a little tour around the car. One thing that Joe Doyle in Quinn's didn't know a whole lot about was under the bonnet.
Yeah.
He was sort of saying that he kind of knows and he kind of doesn't, but I'm presuming since you've bought all this stuff, you have a fair idea of what's under the bonnet.
I do have, yeah. So when I was building the Chaser, I wanted a lot of power. Just like the craziness, the whole thing. So this is the engine was in the Chaser. It has a Brand Crower 3.4 stroker kit, Titan main caps. There's a full, I'm not sure what stage it is, it's like it's the best head that I could get off Titan. Had oversized valves and CNC ported, power division cams. Then there's 1000cc injectors. We changed the smaller turbo this year back to 64-66 precision. There was a 6870 on the Chaser, but I was making crazy power, but it was coming in really late and it was kind of hard to drive. That was
Well, a lot of people don't sort of forget in drifting that you're actually chasing other guys quite a lot of the time. So you're actually low on throttle trying to stay, say you're behind a slower car.
Yeah.
And sometimes the big turbo is great for drag racing, but not so much for drifting.
It was great for smoke and great for entertainment, but for actually competitiveness, it didn't really suit the whole thing. The whole thing was just totally wrong.
So the car is now, well, we obviously just watched it running, and you sort of gave us an interesting fact, because most of this sort of vlog series has been, oh, my car is making X amount of power. Your car right now isn't making a lot of power, but it's what it's making it at is the most interesting part.
Yeah, so when Richard Bradley tuned the car, and there was just the engine was just newly built for this, and he was mapping it, running and mapping it, made 580 horsepower at a bar boost. So,
And what sort of boost would you be running regularly in this car?
Well, to run the engine in today, this is running a bar.
Yeah.
And it made 580, and I'm only after ringing Kevin and them to say I don't need any more power, and they're like, well, hey, because I'm like,
It's reliable, right?
oh, it is. And see, to be honest, I won't even touch it.
So you think, the car is capable of probably 900 plus sort of
It's
figures.
If you turned it up, it would be 850 easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is that it's more responsive at 580. It's reliable. It's not even really under pressure if it's only
No,
one
there's
bar.
no pressure at all. Like there's good power in that car now at 3,000 revs, whereas before it was like 5.5.
Yeah.
Before that other thing, then it was like a bomb going off. Like,
Well, we've had a look under the bonnet. Let's have a look inside. This is sort of one of the things we rarely see in drifting is actually getting into the cars. We can watch them on live stream. We can see everybody from the outside, but on the inside, this is a very, very, very clean place to be. And you're looking at a very shorter bonnet and rear end for wall running than the Chaser last year as well. So it probably feels a little bit more snug.
oh, it feels, yeah, it's nicer to sit in, and Yeah, driving position's better, and it just feels amazing. It just turns so quickly.
Yeah, I could see the smiles all day today, and this seemed like everything you'd sort of wanted it to be. It was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just right. Yeah, I'm really excited now.
Well, inside you have everything's very, very neat in here. From the switch panels to everything else it's all very basic, but that's kind of the way drift cars have kind of gone, right? You don't want too much in there other than what you can see very quickly.
Yeah, so there's a Link Extreme ECU in it with a power distribute PDM, so there's no fuses or relays on it, which is handy.
This is something that probably people who drift at an amateur level don't understand when people say there's no fuses or relays in a car. It's down to the fact that you can actually now use the ECU to control a lot of that.
Yeah, well, it means if something shorts out, and it'll reset itself again and it'll come on again. So you've got another chance at things rather than just...
And it's in sport where you've only got 40 seconds or whatever, or you're under pressure on a 5-minute rule, it's probably a big help.
It's half time you don't know what's going on. The fans could have stopped in the back, there could be short, they can back on again, it kind of rectifies itself.
So putting in that Link ECU is kind of giving you, I suppose, a bit of more comfort.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of control over things, and don't need to worry about it.
That's the thing, just keep driving and that's all it's about.
Yeah.
Well, I think the car looks absolutely insane, and you're probably one of the guys that's sort of fairly well prepared for this year.
Everybody's under pressure to get ready, and so are we to get here today, but after hearing the horror stories, there's guys putting engines in, we're in a really good position.
We looked at Kevin Quinn's car and he said it might be ready for round one, and I sort of thought that was a bit of a long stretch.
I put Joe under that much pressure to get me one ready now, under pressure. So.
Poor Joel wasted away down there.
I think they're scared of me, so that's what's wrong with it.
The car looks incredible. We can't wait to see it in the Drift Games Extreme this year. So Robin Neeson ready for the first round of the Drift Games Extreme, brought to you by Link ECU this year. It's in April, it's at Modified Live in Mondello Park. And with machinery like this and guys ready to absolutely throw down, you certainly can't miss it. Alright guys, the video's not over yet. We have another car to reveal. Another one that is ready and has been doing some testing today for the Link ECU Drift Games Extreme. And it is none other than underdog hero Dean Martin, who's had a pretty tough year in 2018, but in 2019 is coming back swinging. Let's check out his BMW and what he's done over the off season. Here we have Dean Martin's BMW M3 and the man himself. Dean,
how are you?
So this year, new championship,
yep.
New start, but kind of the same car, but hopefully one that runs this year.
Well, more improved. We've changed a lot over the winter, full engine rebuild, new fueling system. We think we're 99% sure after testing today that it was the fueling system that was the problem. So there's a brand new 2-pump Bosch 044 system with swirl pot and tank.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You know what? Don't talk about it. Show it.
If you see under there, you'll see the pumps and the tank in the boot. All in there. Then on the front end we put a new engine. Well, not a new engine.
So you were running an M3 engine last year?
And running it again this year, but fully stripped down by Sean Watt and all engineering work done by Powermax Engineering. Balancing and line boring the rods, balancing the crank, and then just sorting out all the seals and doing all that. After today's testing, we're extremely happy. There was a lot of issues last year. We thought after taking the engine out of the 2017 chassis and putting it into the 2018 chassis it would be plug and play. Turned out it didn't like being moved, so stripping it down after today we're extremely happy with it.
Cool. Well, the one thing is now, okay, we've got all the big horsepower cars, we've got all that stuff coming to the championship. You're still, you know, for all the BMW guys out there, you're still kind of the hero on the grid. But what makes a BMW work is not just how you build a car, it's sort of how you set it up as well. And I think that's one thing people don't understand is if you're running a little less power, setup comes a big part of it then.
Well, what I normally do on out of work hours is I set up drift cars, alignment, and it was always the big key to get business going was to make that one stand out more than most other M3s. And when I walked into the Irish Amateur Drift Championship, it was nearly 10 mile an hour fast off, and people couldn't understand why. And I told them it was all to do with the setup. It's all about alignment, camber. People think it's crazy when you turn around, you're putting the car sideways. Why does your wheels need to point all in the same direction? It is massively important.
And a lot of people overlook it. They go into power.
It's a simple thing that an evening's walk can sort out and can make the car so much more drivable, so much more friendly to the user, and you can nearly pinpoint it where it wants to go.
Yeah, well, let's have a little look around the outside of it. So this was originally, what? A 3 Series, obviously an E36.
That's
but
the second chassis that I built.
What did she start life as?
She started life as a 1997 316i from Dublin.
A 316i?
Yes.
She didn't know what was coming, did she?
That I paid €100 for.
So €100 for the chassis, and then this is the new Pandem kit.
Yeah, this is the new Pandem kit supplied by TH Components. It was an idea that me and them come up with 2 years ago. They were a bit skeptical of the idea at first, and when we decided to go with it, we decided to go all out and put a clamshell rear end in it, which is now actually, that was the first car that TH Components did with a clamshell rear end. It's now on the Red Bull Drift Brothers E30s, and that so far as well.
Ah, so this kind of started, this is the experiment car.
The Red Bull Drift Brothers as well.
Wow, so this sort of started off that trend, and you wouldn't really know, obviously it's a rear clamshell, but what I've noticed is from a distance you wouldn't even notice the lights are sort of what we would call is stickers, but that makes sense, especially with so many walls in the championship. Yeah. No point in breaking any more E36 taillights.
There is plenty of flex in that we have tied with the walls. You can see over this side, the Leary got a couple of slaps in the wall and it didn't even stress the back end. There's no cracks along this side.
So it's sort of made to flex.
It's made to flex, and like it's more of a show impact thing for the judges, that I can hit the wall but not interfere with my line.
Yeah, and obviously that's what they want. They don't want people crashing it.
Yeah, and then the bash bar protects the wheel.
So for rubbing walls, this helps a little bit rather than crashing into them,
yes,
which makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't pull the front in.
Yeah, and let's have a look inside. So, I mean, E36 is sort of our very commonplace with drifting, but this one has had quite a bit of work done on the inside as well.
Yeah, Alwyn AK Drift Repairs made the cage. New gearbox tunnel for future proofing if we decide to put a bigger engine in it and gearbox. Full NASCAR door bars. There's actually sill bars inside. We've cut off the sills and put sill bars in it with rally jacking points for quick changing and all that sort of stuff. Then we've kept it pretty simple. DD Autos made new wiring harness for the inside.
Like it is very simple in here.
Cooler Walk short shifter. Just too much TV. Decided me to put the switches on the roof.
Yeah,
got that from drag racing.
That's cool points right there.
And then everything else is pretty basic. Just function is the key.
But a lot of people forget that in drifting, and we've spoken about it many times in commentary, that you can't win if your car doesn't run. Can we get a little check out under the bonnet? So I know that there's a lot of people that watch this channel that have E36s, and I suppose the M3 engine is sort of the mecca of E36s. Is this the 3 litre or the 3.2?
This is the 3.2 S50 engine out of the 97. So it's in its chassis it's meant to be in from that era. We've just changed bolts and bearings in the engine to ACLs and ARPs, mission motor radiator to keep everything cool. As you know, anybody that drives one of these knows they suffer with heat an awful lot. So we've a friend of mine, Jodie O'Neill, made a custom shroud with a radiator to keep it cool at all times, and she barely passes about 85.
They are known as a bit of a kettle, Dean.
Yeah, no, I think we've that sorted out and then simple things like there's a Watt Fab lock kit created by Sean Watt for extra lock, proven, works brilliantly. Cooler Works steering column quick nut, and then solid engine mounts and Exidi hyper single clutch inside as well. Wow. Just to take the punishment of this semi-slick tires.
Yeah, and of course that is the big thing at the top level, that you're running a lot of grip in the car.
The grip is, if you don't have grip, you're 3 car lengths by the end of the initiating point.
So that's the thing, you have to run so much grip. And does that make it harder to drive, do you think, when you...
Not really, we have it worked out well now at the moment. This would probably be my second year on semi-slicks. I'd be happy enough to say that the car will work well on them.
Yeah.
But if anybody knows, It's Ireland, it's unpredictable, and the rain, it's going to be hard day.
Well, I was about to say, anytime it rains at a drift event, there's always a BMW in the mix, because whatever it is about this chassis, they just work really well in the wet. And we're in Ireland, so I don't think people think a lot about that when it rains. At least 50% of the time. This is like the nicest day Ireland's had in about 60 years, so this is an unfair representation of the weather here. But the thing now is, Dean, that you sort of fly the flag for all of the BMW guys at all the practice days, that it is attainable for an ordinary guy to build a car that's competitive at the top level of drifting. And this year, I suppose a lot of guys will be wishing you well in that regard.
Well, I hope so.
So we've checked out Robin Neeson's incredible Quinn M Sport built 180SX, and on the other side of the bracket we have got an M3 from Dean Martin, but this is no ordinary M3. As you can see, a lot of work, time and determination going into this car to make sure that's as competitive as possible. I'm sure he will be our new underdog hero this year in the championship. Do you want to see some more car reveals? Do you want us to go do something else? Do you want us to check out some events? Well, I think we're going to show off some more cars, because that seems to be what everyone wants to see and get the hype going for the championship. We're just a couple of weeks away. So remember, if you want to see all these brand new car reveals, get on the Drift Games YouTube channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell, like and comment, and let us know which you prefer. Would you go for an M3 chassis, or would you go for a 2JZ S chassis? I'm sure this is going to cause some debates. We're back with more from the Drift Games vlog in just a few days' time.